His Majesty utilized vestments from the coronation services of King George IV, King George V, King George VI, and Queen Elizabeth II. The Colobium Sindonis, the Supertunica, the Imperial Mantle, the Coronation Sword Belt, and the Coronation Glove were also reused. The reuse of these gorgeous, traditional pieces advances the king's interests in efficiency and sustainability. Here's a little history and explanation on how they are used. After the anointing, the monarch is invested with the Colobium Sindonis, a white linen tunic resembling a shift and a collar with a single fastener to represent a priest's alb. His Majesty the King wore the Eden, Ravenscroft-made Colobium Sindonis worn at the coronation of his grandfather, King George VI, at Westminster Abbey on May 12, 1937. The Supertunica is a gold garment with full-length sleeves that is worn beneath the Imperial Mantle. Following the anointing, the sovereign receives the Supertunica, which is secured with the Coronation Sword Belt. Wilkinson & Son, robemakers and tailors, created this Supertunica in 1911 for the coronation of King George V on June 22, 1911. Subsequently, King George VI wore the Supertunica to his coronation in May, 26 years later. Queen Elizabeth II wore it on her coronation in June 1953. The weight of this garment is 2 kilograms, or 4.4 pounds. Although this Supertunica is from the 20th century, it has changed little in appearance since the Middle Ages. Its design is inspired by ecclesiastical and religious garments. Each side of the front is embroidered with spiral threads that assume the form of leafy stems using goldwork. As part of a centuries-old tradition for the garment, the 1911 embroidery was the handiwork of the Ladies' Work Society and was inspired by medieval church vestments. The Imperial Mantle is constructed from gold fabric, gold, silver, and silk thread, silk, gold bullion fringe, and a gold fastening. Roses, thistles, shamrocks, crowns, eagles, and fleurs-de-lis are woven into the fabric. The gold fastener is in the shape of an eagle. John Meyer, a tailor, created the Imperial Mantle in 1821, and the royal goldsmiths to George IV, Rundell, Bridge, and Rundell, provided the gold eagle fastening. The girdle, also known as the Coronation Sword Belt, is made of gold cloth with arabesques and scrolls embroidered in gold thread. It is lined with dark crimson silk and has a gold buckle with roses, thistles, and shamrocks as national symbols. A gold clip holds the jeweled offering sword in position. The sword belt is wrapped around the Supertunica during the coronation service. The jeweled sword of offering is then girded or secured around the waist of the sovereign using the sword belt. The archbishop presents the sword to the monarch, explaining that it should be used to defend the good and condemn the evil. The sword is then removed and deposited on the altar of Westminster Abbey, prior to the investiture of the Imperial Mantle upon the sovereign. Historically, the Worshipful Company of Girdlers creates a new sword belt for each coronation. His Majesty has opted to reuse the sword belt created for his grandfather's coronation in 1937. Prior to the coronation service on May 6, the Royal School of Needlework performed minor conservation work on the girdle, and the Worshipful Company of Girdlers re-presented it to His Majesty, King Charles III. The Coronation Glove or gauntlet is designed for the monarch's right hand. This glove has been conserved by Dents with the assistance of the Worshipful Company of Glovers, and was re-presented by the company in preparation for the coronation on May 6. Before proceeding to the throne chair, the glove is removed after being used to grasp the sovereign's scepter during the crowning. At the coronation on May 6, Lord Indarjit Singh of Wimbledon presented His Majesty with the Coronation Glove. The glove is crafted from white leather, and the wrist is embroidered with gold metal thread, wire, and spangles in the shape of national symbols, including the Tudor rose, thistle, shamrock, oak leaves, and acorns. The back of the hand is adorned with an embroidered red velvet ducal coronet above the family crest of the Dukes of Newcastle. The lining of the forearm is red satin, the color of regal majesty and power. These garments brought tradition and significance to the coronation of King Charles and Queen Camilla, while adhering to his plan for a more efficient and sustainable monarchy.